When LucasArts decides to do something different, they don't kid around. Their upcoming adventure, Full Throttle, is not only a break from the adventure game mainstream, it's also a giant step away from anything even LucasArts has done before. This rugged character is Ben Throttle, the leader of a motorcycle gang called the Polecats. They cruise the highways of a future America where the two-wheeler has all but vanished, replaced by glitzy hovercrafts. Corley Motors is the only company still making motorcycles, and the Polecats meet up with the owner, Malcolm Corley. Corley's second-in-command suggests that the Polecats escort the two of them to a stockholders meeting for Corley Motors as a publicity stunt. This is a great honor for the gang, at least until they are ambushed, Corley is murdered, and the Polecats are arrested for the crime. Luckily, our hero Ben manages to escape the clutches of the law. Now Ben has to find the evidence to clear his innocent buddies. In the process, he learns that the whole chain of catastrophic events was carefully orchestrated by Corley's second-in-command, Adrian Ripburger, who has taken over Corley Motors and plans to stop producing motorcycles in favor of hovercrafts. Now that's low. But Ben also learns that Corley has a child who would inherit the corporate throne. The problem is finding this heir and escorting the young Corley safely to the company headquarters. It turns out to be a beautiful but rebellious daughter who wants no part of the business. Some days it's just hard to be a hero. Along the way to get all these problems sorted out, Ben meets up with cheerful characters like Todd here. And this is Barface. Say hello, Barface. This is not Day of the Tentacle we're talking about here. While there are certainly humorous moments in the game, for the most part the story is played straight, despite the stylized graphics. Project leader Tim Schafer cites more serious cartoon influences, like Batman the Animated Series and Liquid Television's Eon Flux. As you can see, this is a very cinematic piece of work. There are lots of skyline shots, unusual angles, and gritty close-ups to spice up the action, not that it needs it. The graphics are also very unusual in that they combine two-dimensional characters and backgrounds with rendered 3D vehicles. This is a very deliberate and important emphasis. One of the major themes of the game is the plot to eliminate motorcycles, which represent freedom. If you don't believe me, go watch Easy Rider. So what it boils down to is that anyone in this game who is still riding a two-wheeler can't be all bad, whereas you immediately know not to trust anyone riding a hovercraft. So much for Symbolism 101, let's get back to the preview. The screen is not cluttered with an icon bar during regular gameplay, but if you want to use an object or interact, just click and woo! Check that out! There's just no ignoring that flaming skull tattoo toolbox. Tim Schafer describes it not so much as an interface, as an in-your-face. This is primarily an adventure game, but you just know there's going to be some combat. Ben's not the kind of guy to just look for keys and amulets and stuff. He's going to want to kick butt. So in addition to the normal object-oriented puzzles, there are also action puzzles to solve. Ben will need to use particular weapons and moves on particular people to get past them. Action is definitely the name of the game, or at least the predominant feature. The action sequences in Full Throttle include first-person road trips, motorcycle gang battles, and a climactic showdown between the Polecats and their arch-rivals, the hovercraft-riding Vultures. As is rapidly becoming the norm, Full Throttle will feature full digitized speech and will only be available on CD-ROM, so get your motor running for Full Throttle's release this winter.